In this video, I will be talking about the Data Explorer. The Data Explorer is a tool that provides a simple query interface to make it easier for the user to search the data available on nimhgenetics.org website. This data is collected over a decade from numerous studies done on mental health patients. The files are available in many different formats using different notations. A data warehouse was constructed by downloading all these files, parsing and loading them into tables, harmonizing all the values by creating a uniform schema on top of the tables. The Data Explorer allows access to this curated, harmonized backend data warehouse. The way to access the Data Explorer is you go to Collaborative Tools, click on Data Explorer, and you see there are all the diseases on the left. And the way this is organized is for each disease you have an explore section and a summary statistics section. And summary section is accessible to everybody even if you're not logged in. And it has some really basic information about some demographic phenotypic characteristics in the form of histograms. And we'll be adding more detailed information here about pedigrees, phenotypic, genotypic data in the future versions. But this section is basically to help the user decide whether you should sign the distribution agreement and get the data. Let me show you some examples of these summary graphs. So in schizophrenia, let's look at diagnosis. So it shows a simple histogram with the different diagnoses. With schizophrenia, never mentally ill, the various others. If you look at Alzheimer's data, we can look at age demographic. So it'll show you the different age ranges and the number of individuals for each age range. Then there's some phenotypic characteristics like in controls we have a phenotypic psychiatric screen test. You've wanted to find all individuals dependent on nicotine, smoke more than 100 cigarettes a day. So it tells you how many, there's 2,492 individuals that smoke more than 100 cigarettes a day. So there are some really basic, simple histograms for different demographic characteristics. So that was the summary section. Now let's talk about the explore section. For the explore section, you need access, so you need to log in to be able to access this. And if you already signed the agreement and you have the username password, it's the same username password that you use on nimhgenetics.org website. So I'm going to log in here. So now I'm logged in. I go to the Explorer section. It provides a simple query interface where the user can enter search criteria, get results, and then save these results for future analysis or just view it. So it allows you to search across the different data sets for a disease. So there's some demographic data, there's pedigree if you want to get just individuals or you want to get their parents or sibling or family. Then there's some genetic data, a sample at Rutgers. This is basically, for those interested individuals, do you want to get the blood samples, which is at Rutgers? For that, you need the cell line ID. So you want to get only those individuals that have the sample. So you select that. And GWAS data, you have all the SNP data where you're interested in only certain SNPs. You can enter it here. You can enter one SNP, or you can enter a number of SNPs separated by comma, or you can upload a file of all the SNPs if there are a lot of them. This will have one SNP per line in a file. Or you can enter the chromosome start and end position. You can also enter the gene symbol. We got all the gene names from Ensemble, and for all the SNPs we have in our data, we got their corresponding gene symbols. Then there's microsatellite data where you can enter the marker IDs, or again you can search by chromosome. Then there is diagnostic data, which is of course those phenotypic tests which are different for each disease. For autism, ADIR is one of a really important phenotypic test. And what you see here display is whether you want to see the columns displayed in the output. In this section is where you specify the query you want to constrain on. So I'm going to take an example. Let's say you wanted all white males, for autism, you want less than age 20. And yeah, I want the sample at Rutgers. And for GWAS data, say I wanted a particular gene, BDNF. This is brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And let's say I want to search for the microsatellite data right now. And you were interested in a certain ADIR value. Say verbal communication total. And say you want it to be less than 20. So this is your query, all white males less than the age of 20, you only want the individuals, you want the sample at Rutgers, you're interested in the BDNF gene, and you want a certain phenotypic value, the verbal communication total less than 20. So submit this query. So you get all the results. Here you see for this gene BDNF, there are 7 SNPs in this gene. So you get the allele values, you get the SNP chromosome, and then the verbal communication value, the age value. So if you didn't want any of these columns displayed in the output, you could like deselect it from here. You can also save this result in a CSV file that you want to view later. So you can open this in Excel. So these are exactly the same results that I have there. What it also does is, we only have some total values for ADIR, but ADIR tests, this questionnaire which has almost 200 or so columns, and if you wanted all the columns for these individuals that satisfy all this criteria, we get all those values and in the background store it in a file, so you can download that ADIR file also. So you have all the different values of ADIR, which is quite a number of columns here. And one more thing that it does is, for these SNPs and these selected individuals, it automatically creates a plink file, which is this map and ped file that you can use for analysis later, that you wanted to load into another tool. So this is available as a zip folder, and you can download that and use it later. So I'm going to download this file. So this is the ped files. These are all the individuals. And for those 7 SNPs, you have, the allele values. And this is, of course, the regular ped file with the individual ID, this ID for family, mother, father, etc. You have the map file. So the BDNF gene has 7 SNPs in it. So this is one example. You can write a lot of other queries. Suppose you wanted, all the family members of these individuals. You can get that too. So you see the mother, father, sibling of the selected individuals. Also in the results, you can get their cell IDs. You can get That would mean that you can get DNA from Rutgers for the mother, father, sibling, and the proband. Of course, you know whether they're affected or not. The query interface has the same format for all the diseases. I've only shown autism here, but all the other diseases, the Explore section would have the same format. It differs only in the variation of genotypic and phenotypic characteristics that are dependent on that disease distribution. To wrap up, the Data Explorer is still in its beta phase. We are adding new disease distributions as we go along. Also, we are working on adding more capabilities to the search and on improving our summary views. We would love to hear from you. If you do not have access to the data and would like to see some summary metadata to decide if you want to apply for access, let us know what data summaries can help you decide that. If you want to apply for access to get the data, you can either go to nimgenetics.org website and get the information from there, or contact us so we can point you to a specific set of instructions regarding the steps you need to take. If you already have access to disease distribution connected through the Explorer and are able to perform search but are not happy with certain features or wish another search criteria or feature is present, please let us know. You can email me at sharma, sharma, at isi.edu. We look forward to hearing from you. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching.